So when I was a fetus, it's going to be a long day. Just saying. So when I was a fetus, I was swimming in my mother's belly, and then I would do a couple of little turns, and I would go, jazz hands. I knew, since I was a fetus, that I was meant to grace stages across the world. But my body had other plans for me. When I was born with a 20% chance of living, heart failure, a damaged lung, and the whole left side of my body was structurally damaged. The doctors managed to save my life at 11 days old, but they told my parents, enjoy her while you can because she'll be gone by the time she's a teenager. Clearly, I'm a cockroach. You can't get rid of me no matter what you do, right? Only I'm way cuter than a cockroach, just saying. But that's the prognosis that I had. And as a child, because of the structural damage on my left side, they had to put casts on my legs in hopes that I would be able to walk one day, let alone go on to dance and perform. Between my damaged lung and the speech issues I had to have speech therapy to learn how to speak, let alone go on to sing opera, and be able to go on to sing. Oh, I'll do something operatic a little later, I promise. And I won't make it like the horns on the head, you know, those opera singers. Woo! It's like, okay, back it up, people, just a little bit too much. But that was my prognosis. And throughout my childhood, I was in and out of hospitals. And what I learned during that time is if somebody can't see the illness, they don't hear your voice. And so multiple times I would be at the hospital of sick children up in Toronto where I was born. And the doctor would come in, and he would have his 5 to 10 residents with him. And he would be looking at the screen, and he would say, see this echocardiogram? Now, this girl is a fine specimen, as if I didn't exist. And you see this point right here? Somebody died of this last week. Yes, in front of me, whoever asked that question. And so this was my entire childhood of feeling invisible and like my voice didn't matter, because even when I spoke up and tried to advocate for myself, I was never heard. And so everything comes down to being able to recreate and reinvent our lives. And my reinvention, I made the decision very early on to dedicate my life to learning everything to do with getting my voice heard, everything to do with the art, the science, the craft of speaking and speaking from your power and liberating your voice so that I can do it and so that I could do it for others. So everything is an opportunity. Now, in that feeling of not feeling like your voice is heard, I am not alone. So my journey has been living with congenital heart disease and other issues as a result of that my entire life, and having to learn to advocate when you can't see the illness. But every person in this room has those hopes and those dreams and those things that they want, and they want to get to that next level, but they feel invisible, or they have in the past. Maybe some of you don't feel invisible today, which is awesome. But we all feel invisible at some point or another. How many people have I met through my world and through my journey who we look at them and they go, wow, they have the best marriage. Look how happy they are. But inside, they feel invisible because they are dying inside, because they're not in the right marriage and they want to express their voice in a different way. Or the people that we look at and we're like, wow, they're so successful. They have no problems. They're doing so awesome. But again, they're dying inside because they're tired and they're burnt out and they're not living their purpose, even though they've had a huge career. We all at some point feel invisible. And especially since COVID hit, we are all in this place where we're all discombobulated and trying to find out who we are and who our voice is and how we're going to reignite that into the world.